Americans are in love with SUVs, and that's why Toyota have brought out a new RAV4. This competes with the Honda CR-V and also the Nissan Rogue. There's going to be a lot of competition for this to take on, but ultimately I think the RAV4 for 2019 is going to be the best-selling SUV in America. So let's take a look at the upfront of the vehicle. Every different grade of the vehicle gets a different front, and I kind of like that. You know, gone are the days when you could tell a car coming down the street by its design. Now you can, and you can tell what trim level it is because of the different front ends. Black plastics and monochrome colors here, a lower vent. The only boo about this vehicle at the front end is the fact that this looks like metal, but it's actually plastic. It's not a real skid plate. Now this is the adventure grade, and so we're going to find out if it really matches up to being an adventure SUV. It looks a lot more like a truck for 2019, beefed up and more aggressive, LED lights at the front and a sporty off-roading cladding all the way down the side. But there's lots of clever design ideas around the side. Looking at the rear quarter panel, you can see some complicated lines that really give this vehicle a look that it was technically designed, and they spent a long time making it appealing to the eyes. A white roof is an option, as well as the fact that you can actually get large 18 or 19 wheels depending on which model you choose. Spacecraft style side mirrors, dual exhausts at the back. The only real thing that I'm disappointed is the back is not as aggressive as the front end. Now there are two engines available in the new RAV4. One is an Atkinson cycle 2.5 with 2 electric motors. That's for the hybrid. The other is just this 2.5 that outputs 203 horsepower. Perfect horsepower for a vehicle this size. The hybrid is 200 pounds heavier after you add in those electric motors and the battery, but the fuel economy is absolutely unbelievable. The hybrid version gets 41 miles a gallon in the city. Just think about that for a second. That's a huge number for an SUV, even a hybrid SUV of this size. It gets 37 on the highway, 26 for the gasoline engine in the city, and 34 on the highway. Incredible amount of fuel economy. Even 34 miles a gallon on the highway out of a gasoline engine is great in the size of SUV that this is. Let's talk a little bit about transmission. Of course, there's a CVT in the hybrid version and an 8-speed automatic transmission inside the regular gas versions of this vehicle. Well powered, a lot of great fuel economy, and of course Toyota just do everything absolutely right and give you just a little bit extra on top of these vehicles. But the real test of these engines will come in the test drive on road. So on the road in the brand new RAV4, and it's kind of exciting. There's a few things I've noticed. This is not the first time I've driven one. I've had the opportunity to be in one at the launch, which we did in California, and I noticed a couple things about it. First of all, the hybrid, even though you have 2 electric motors and 1 gas engine, it doesn't seem as quiet as I thought it would seem. This is the gasoline adventure version. Now, there's a few things about this vehicle that are kind of interesting. First of all, the 0 to 60 mile an hour, you don't expect much as a RAV4, but it's practically where you would pull away from a light or onto a freeway and an on-ramp, and you want to, of course, get up to speed quickly. So let's see. It sounds really loud when I punch it down. 0 to 60 is around 7 seconds, but it seems like the engine is working super hard in regular mode. Now, let's move it into sport mode. This is where the gauge will turn red on the inside, and see what it's like to rack it here. It seems a little more nimble, but I'm getting the same engine sound out of it. The cool thing is the line of sight in this. I'm sitting high enough that I can see just the edge of the bonnet or the hood. I can see all around me. The only real obtrusion into my line of sight is the A-pillar here. Everything else is just about perfect. Love the way it drives, like driving it. Very comfortable. I feel nice in the seat. My view is very clean around me. All right, my big yay for the interior is the color combinations. Toyota have given this orange, gray, and black on the inside with orange stitching. Absolutely flawless. This is beautiful and an aggressive interior. You don't often see this sort of aggression from Toyota. Now, there's a lot of soft touch surfaces. This is soft touch, this is soft touch, that's hard, and that's hard plastic. But if you feel it around the vehicle, the doors and the front are all soft touch surfaces. Even down to the design of the center console with the orange, everything's easily at hand in this vehicle. Heated and cool seats are an option. There seems to be a much higher aspect of materials in this vehicle. The last version of the RAV4 had a lot of plastic. Starting it up, this vehicle actually has a nice big screen. I'm not a fan of the screen sitting out like this does, almost like you slotted an iPad into the vehicle, but this kind of works. It's got some silver molding on the sides of it as well. Touch screen, which means it's easily usable. This is a 7-inch screen, which I think is an adequate screen size. Anything smaller is too small. Anything larger is just a benefit to you as well. Nice to see lots of information inside the gauge cluster. The center screen here, which is the miles per hour, is actually not a real gauge. It's a thin TFT screen which gives you a picture of the car. We have a door open right here, what seat belts are folded, what systems are engaged, as well as your MPH, your tachometer. What I love about RAV4 is partly to do with Toyota, it's partly the new vehicle. This is absolutely perfect. I'm having a hard time finding things wrong with this vehicle. It's going to sell about $40,000 a month, which is 4 times what Subaru sell out of the Forester. This vehicle is going to start around $25,000. It's just an extra $800 for the hybrid, and if you want all-wheel drive, it's less than $2,000 to add this into the vehicle. You get Toyota's reliability. This vehicle is nicely designed. Look at the colors on the interior, look at the colors on the exterior. You can get that white roof. Plus you have the ability of a Toyota to start every time. I own Toyota products in my garage because I can come out in a year's time when I haven't driven them and just start them with one touch of the push button. So good money starting wise, lots of trim levels. You get to choose what you want on your car and deck it out. Toyota reliability, fun design, and fuel economy. 41 miles a gallon in the city from the hybrid. That is outstanding. There's very little I don't like about this car.